Hello, AGCS, and welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, we had a great 2 days back.
I thought they were perfect, got us back in the swing of things and ready for a full week next week.
That's right. We were very happy to see all the kids, their smiling faces. They seemed very excited to be back. So.
They certainly did. And they were loving our new sensory path. If you have not heard yet, check it out with your child. We're going to be posting some things about it, but it's been really exciting addition to our building.
That's right. So yeah, definitely next week look for that. We'll be making some posts and you can see firsthand all of the things the kids have been doing.
So for this month, we decided we've had a lot of fun with our holiday seasons, but it's time to get back to some learning. So we're going to focus on some nonfiction. Our chapter book is historical nonfiction, so it's as close to the truth as possible with a little flair involved.
That's right.
So we're going to be learning some new things this month.
That's right. So we have The Magic Treehouse. It's Revolutionary War on Wednesday. And this is a book by Mary Pope Osborne. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister Annie climbed into the treehouse. They found that it was filled with books. Jack and Annie soon discovered that the treehouse was magic. It could take them to the places in the books. All they had to do was point to a picture and wish to go there. Along the way, Jack and Annie discovered that the treehouse belongs to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a magical librarian from Camelot, the long-ago kingdom of King Arthur. She travels through time and space gathering books. In Magic Treehouse books 5 to 8, Jack and Annie helped free Morgan from a spell. In books 9 to 12, they solved 4 ancient riddles and became master librarians. In the Magic Treehouse books 13 to 16, Jack and Annie had to save 4 ancient stories from being lost forever. In Magic Treehouse books 17 to 20, Jack and Annie freed a mysterious little dog from a magic spell. In Magic Treehouse books 21 to 24, Jack and Annie have a new challenge. They must find 4 special kinds of writing for Morgan's library to help save Camelot. They are about to set off to find the second of these. Wednesday, chapter 1. "Wake up, Jack," Annie whispered. Jack opened his eyes. He looked at his clock. It was 6 a.m. "Come on," Annie whispered. I should have said, "Come on," Annie whispered. She was standing at his bedroom door, already dressed. "Now?" said Jack. "Yeah, it's Wednesday. We have to go to the treehouse," she said. "Oh man, Wednesday," said Jack. Suddenly, he was wide awake. "We have to help save Camelot," said Annie. I know, said Jack, scrambling out of bed. "Meet you out front," said Annie. Jack quickly changed into his jeans and t-shirt. He threw his notebook and pencil into his backpack. Then he slipped down the stairs and out the front door. Annie was waiting in the gray early light. "All set?" she whispered. "Yep," said Jack. They took off running across their yard. They ran down their quiet street and into Frog Creek woods. Soon they came to the treehouse. They climbed up the rope ladder. In the early light, they saw Morgan's note. The same note they'd found on Sunday. Jack picked it up and read aloud. "Dear Jack and Annie, Camelot is in trouble. To save the kingdom, please find these 4 special kinds of writing for my library. Something to follow, something to send, something to learn, something to lend. Thank you, Morgan." Annie picked up a piece of paper lying on the floor. It was the list of rules from the famous nurse Clara Barton. They had met her on their journey to the Civil War. "On Sunday we found the first special writing," said Annie. "Something to follow." "Yeah," said Jack. "And now we need to find the second thing, something to send." He picked up a book lying near the note. The cover showed soldiers on a snowy river bank. The title was The Revolutionary War. Jack frowned. "Uh-oh," said Annie. "Another war," said Jack, sighing. "You still want to go?" said Annie. "We have to," said Jack. He hated the suffering he'd seen in the Civil War. But they had no choice. They had to help Morgan save Camelot. He pointed at the cover of the book. "I wish we could go there," Jack said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2, Day or Night. Jack shivered. The wind blew hard. "It's cold," he said. He could see his breath in the air. "Wrap your scarf tighter," said Annie. Jack looked down. He had a wool scarf around his neck. He was also wearing woolen pants that buttoned at the knees, a coat, and a hat with 3 corners. On his feet were funny shoes with buckles. In place of his backpack was a leather bag. Annie was wearing a long coat over a long dress. Jack pulled his scarf tighter. Then he looked out the window with Annie. They'd landed in trees near an icy river. The sky was gray and heavy with clouds. Here's a picture. You can see that, the uniform. It is 3-corner hat up there. "It's almost day or almost night. I can't tell," said Annie. "Yeah, I hope it's almost day," said Jack. "I wonder where we'll find something to send," said Annie. Jack shrugged. "First, we have to find the Revolutionary War," he said. He opened their research book. By the gray light, he read, "Over 200 years ago, the United States was made up of 13 colonies ruled by Britain. From 1775 until 1782, American patriots fought for independence from Britain. This was called the Revolutionary War." Jack took out his notebook. He wrote, "American patriots fight for independence from Britain." Jack turned the page. There was a picture of soldiers in red uniforms. He read aloud, "During the Revolutionary War, British soldiers wore red uniforms. For this reason, they were called redcoats." Jack wrote in his notebook, "British equals redcoats." "Wow, snow," said Annie. Jack looked up from his writing. Annie was holding her hand out of the window. A few snowflakes blew into the treehouse. "Not much yet," said Jack, "but we better find the special writing soon." "Well, stop reading and come on," said Annie. She buttoned up her coat and started down the ladder. Okay, said Jack. He packed the research book and his notebook into his bag. Then he followed Annie. When they stepped onto the ground, there were more snow flurries. The sky was growing darker. "I'm afraid it's almost night instead of day," said Jack. "Yeah," said Annie, looking around. "Hey, look, people." She pointed up the river. In the misty distance was a campfire. Several men sat around the fire. They all held muskets. "Maybe they can help us," said Annie. She started away, but Jack grabbed her. "Wait, I think they're soldiers," he said. "They have muskets. Remember the muskets from the Civil War? The guns that soldiers carried?" "Oh, yeah," said Annie. "They might be redcoats," said Jack. "Let's sneak closer and get a better look at their uniforms." "Quick," said Annie, "before it's too dark to see." That's it for chapter 2.
All right.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Were they redcoats? I don't know.
We'll find out next week.
That's right. Right, well, something very important is happening today. In just a little bit,
Yes,
I believe.
I think in about an hour or so, the Eagles are playing. So all you Eagles fans, enjoy the story and then get ready for the big game. Go Birds!
And then also, I know in this last week, there was a survey sent to you. We are thinking about hosting a family night, family bingo night. So go on and follow that link and give us your feedback about whether or not you would be interested in having a family night of bingo.
It sounds like a lot of fun to me.
That's right. So if we have enough interest in doing that, we would love to host that on
Absolutely.
the 31st, I believe.
All right, well, we hope everybody has a great night. Go Birds, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, go Eagles.